A shocking crisis shakes China to its core when a high-profile artifact, the Tyrannosaurus skull, is stolen from national custody. The daring heist is executed by a cold-blooded, mysterious man known only as the Man with a Golden Gun. The theft is more than just a national embarrassment, it's a major security breach. With international eyes watching, the top men demand swift action. The commander of the Guangzhou military region is ordered to retrieve the skull at any cost. The film opens at the Shenyang Air Force Base, where military personnel arrive with a Tyrannosaurus skull fossil in a secured container. Upon arrival, the commanding officer instructs them to open it. As the container doors swing open, a flock of birds suddenly flies out, startling the soldiers. They burst into laughter, relieved it's nothing serious, but the humor vanishes instantly when they realize the container is empty. Unbeknownst to them, the real container has already been swapped with a lookalike and delivered to a secret warehouse. When the container arrives, the men inside waste no time prying it open to retrieve the skull. But just as they begin unloading it, a soldier named Yi emerges from hiding and opens fire. They fight back. Yi proves far more skilled, swiftly eliminating everyone in the room. While reporting the situation to his team, Yi is caught off guard when a masked, armored man appears behind him. Without hesitation, Yi opens fire, but his bullets have no effect. Thinking quickly, Yi shoots at the base of a heavy jack to drop it on him, but the masked man fires his golden gun, shattering the jack midair. Yi runs outside and takes cover behind a shipping container outside, frantically describing the attacker to his team and calling for backup. Meanwhile, the masked man calmly reloads his weapon. Using a scanning system embedded in his helmet, he locates Yi through the barriers. He takes a single shot. The bullet tears through the warehouse door, multiple containers, and finally through Yi's chest, killing him instantly. Chan, the head commander of the Guangzhou military region, is under pressure to recover the missing skull and resolve the national embarrassment, so he makes an unexpected move. Instead of deploying one of his top agents, he pulls a name long buried in the agency's archives, Ling Ling Chat, for reasons best known to him. Chat is socially awkward and hilariously terrible with firearms. It's a baffling choice, and everyone wonders why Chan would pick him of all people. Once a junior operative under a seasoned agent named Tat Man Sai. Chat has been out of the spy game for over a decade. Presently, he runs a tiny pork stall in a bustling Shenzhen market. Flat broke and constantly dodging creditors and settling debts with pork ribs instead of cash. After a scuffle with one of his debtors at the market, Chat lifts a dry martini to his lips, trying to sip in style, completely unbothered. Just then his old mentor, Man Sai, appears at the stall and says a familiar code word. Chat can't believe his ears. He drops his glass in shock. He is thrilled to see him. Man Sai informs him that the military has an offer for him. Delighted that the military hasn't forgotten him, Chat doesn't hesitate. Still wearing his apron and holding a butcher's knife, he follows Man Sai straight out of the market. At the bureau, Chat meets the receptionist and mistakes her for Rose, the woman who used to sit at the front desk. She quickly corrects him. She's Rose's daughter. When Chat tries to hug her, she dodges him. She directs him to the commander's office, and as he leaves, he tosses a chunk of pork liver her way, urging her to make soup with it. Then, true to his clumsy nature, he walks straight into a glass door. Inside, he meets Commander Chan. Chat expresses his full readiness for duty. Chan briefs him on the case. Although the thief's identity remains unknown, what they do know is that he wears full body armor, a mask, and uses a golden gun. Chan then takes Chat to see Man Sai, asking if he has any gadgets that could help with the mission. Man Sai proudly shows off a series of his absurd, over-the-top inventions, much to their amusement. Chan orders Chat to head to Hong Kong, track down the stolen skull, and uncover who's behind the theft. He tells him someone will contact him once he arrives. To help him look presentable, he hands him money to buy a proper suit. Chat vows to give the mission his best. As he leaves, he slams into the glass door once again and falls to the ground. Meanwhile, a deputy from the northern military region catches wind of who Commander Chan has chosen for this critical assignment. He visits Chan in person and makes his displeasure known, questioning why such an incompetent man has been entrusted with such a serious case. Commander Chan tries to reassure him, insisting that Chat is more capable than he appears, but the deputy remains unconvinced. He tells Chan that he doesn't trust him and reveals that he's already deployed his own men to investigate the theft. As the deputy turns to leave, Commander Chan's subordinate, Hyung Kam, coldly drives a sharp metal rod through the man's head. Chan finishes the job himself, drawing his golden gun and firing a flaming bullet that sets the body ablaze. It turns out that Commander Chan himself is the man with the golden gun, the true mastermind behind the theft. Determined to keep his identity hidden, he refuses to let anyone question his authority or uncover the truth. To divert suspicion, he plans to frame a notorious Hong Kong gangster named Lai Yao Wai for the entire operation. He then orders Kam to head to Hong Kong and eliminate Chat. Before leaving for Hong Kong, Chat cleans himself up. He buys new suits, stylish shoes, and gets his hair done. For the first time in a long while, he looks sharp and confident. Upon arriving in Hong Kong, he heads to what he believes is his hotel. He's dazzled by the beautiful women in Hong Kong. He is disappointed when the front desk clerk informs him that he booked a motel, not a hotel. When he arrives at the motel, the place is a dump. A woman, clearly a hooker, shows him to his room but is suddenly shoved to the floor by someone nearby. Alarmed, Chat draws his gun, assuming he's under attack, but fumbles with it awkwardly. Then he notices a message written on the bathroom mirror, instructing him to go to the park with a rose. He does exactly that. At the park, he meets a woman nearby feeding stray dogs. It's Cam, his assigned contact. She brings him back to her home. Chat tries to make small talk, complimenting her kindness for feeding the stray dogs. But Hyung Kam just hums a tune that sounds oddly familiar. Curious, Chat asks about the artist, but admits he doesn't know much about her. He mentions he's more familiar with a singer named Lee Kam. She casually replies that it's her name. Chat laughs, joking that the singer must be her mother. To his surprise, Hyung Kam confirms that Lee Kam is her mother, and they both laugh it off with Chat believing she's joking. As they continue chatting and joking around, Chat notices a cigarette on the floor. Suspicious, he asks if Hyung Kam smokes, but she says no. He immediately goes on high alert, convinced someone else is hiding in the house. He charges at the wardrobe, yells Chat for the intruder to come out, but Cam calmly tells him that he dropped the cigarette earlier. At this point, Hyung Kam is fully convinced Chat is a complete idiot. Moments later, Cam asks him to show her his weapons. Chat confesses that he's terrible with guns. They're just not his thing. But he does have one specialty: knives. Proudly, he shows off his knife-slinging skills, hoping to impress her. Cam, however, isn't impressed in the slightest. She casually reveals her impressive gun collection and behind her smile makes a few half-hearted attempts to kill him, all of which backfire in ridiculous fashion. Frustrated, Cam retreats to the bathroom where she speaks with Commander Chan. He tells her the plan has changed. She must kill Chat, but it has to be inside the home of the gangster Lai Yao Wai. That way, they can pin the murder on him. A few minutes later, Chat walks into the bathroom. Commander Chan quickly switches tone and pretends to greet him over the phone, asking about the mission. After ending the call, Chat tells Cam not to test a gun she's unfamiliar with again. Offended by the remark and feeling underestimated, Cam fires some shots to the ceiling, and the chandelier crashes straight onto her forehead. The next day, the duo heads to a restaurant. As they talk, Cam becomes increasingly irritated by Chat's carefree attitude and overly friendly nature. Chat asks her if she's still mad at him, and she says she is. He jokingly asks how mad she is, and she tells him she feels like killing him while smiling hysterically. Just then, a nosy photographer takes a picture of them. They hold him down, ready to beat him up, but once they see how flattering the photo looks, they let him go. Later on, while still at the restaurant, Chat runs into 3 men from his hometown. They seem friendly, and Chat immediately relaxes around them. But Cam senses something's off. After their meal, the group walks out together, and Cam sees one of the men tucked a gun in his trousers. The man suggests they take a stroll while his friends pick something up from the store. Chat hesitates, but Cam encourages him to go, promising to catch up later. She suspects the men are dangerous and secretly hopes they'll do her job for her by taking Chat out. Without warning, the 2 men walk into a jewelry store and violently rob the store, killing one of the workers. They return to the arena like nothing happened, but as they are about to leave, the police arrive and try to stop them. A gunfight breaks out and innocent people are caught in the crossfire. Chat and a little boy playing in the arena are taken hostage. The boy's father, returning with popcorn, sees them holding his son and pleads with them to spare him. But they shoot him dead in front of the child. Chat is furious. From a hidden point, Cam watches in disbelief as everything spirals out of control. As the group heads toward the elevator, Chat seizes the opportunity to strike. With deadly accuracy and no hesitation, he takes down all three men in a blink with his knives. Cam is stunned. This goofy, clumsy butcher she'd written off just revealed a side of himself she never expected. Sharp, fearless, and lethal. For the first time, something changes in her. Back at her place, Cam contacts Commander Chan again. He demands an update. She hesitates, then admits that the more he gets to know Chat, the harder it becomes to kill him. Commander Chan doesn't take it well. Cold and manipulative, he calls her a traitor just like her parents and grandparents. She reminds her that everything she owns, he gave her. She belongs to him and must do exactly as he commands. Knowing she has a soft heart, he paints Chat as a monster, a killer and a pervert, guilty of unimaginable crimes. He accuses him of abusing children and even pregnant women. The lies are calculated, meant to turn her heart cold. He instructs her to carry on with the earlier plan. Later that night, Chat and Cam arrive at the lavish mansion of the gangster Lai Yao Wei, who is throwing a wild party. While outside, Chat says he'll return with white roses for her. But then he awkwardly asks if Lee Cam was really her mother because he heard she was a traitor. Cam is visibly hurt. Realizing he crossed a line, Chat apologizes. He promises to take her to karaoke and sing one of her mother's songs. Cam's patience has run out. She snaps at him, saying she doesn't want anything from him. He should just focus on the mission. Using one of Monsai's crazy inventions, Chat finds his way into the party and blends in perfectly. Inside, he begins scoping out Lai Yao Wei. When he sees him step aside to answer a phone call, Chat follows discreetly and listens in, hoping to catch him discussing the stolen skull. But all he hears is a pork rib soup recipe and football scores from the TV. Outside, Cam sets up a sniper rifle. She radios Chat, instructing him to sit by the piano, the perfect location for a clean shot. But as she aims, Chat unexpectedly starts playing the piano and singing one of her mother's songs. The melody, the moment, his voice, it all softens her. Guests gather around him, enchanted by the performance. Just after his rendition, a strange woman approaches Chat. She tells him she's been looking for someone important, then pulls out the photo taken earlier at the restaurant, the one of him and Cam. He plays dumb, like he doesn't recognize anyone in the picture. Before he can say more, she kisses him. At that moment, he spots a man on the roof with a golden tooth and iron hands. The man hurls a heavy object at him, which Chat narrowly dodges. Suddenly, the woman pulls a gun and starts shooting. Chat dives for cover, and when he gets a chance, he slings a knife straight into her wrist, causing her to flee. The whole room is in chaos, and Cam sees the opportunity to kill Chat, but she misses all the shots. However, he returns to pluck some white roses, and that's when she finally fires multiple shots at him. Believing the job is done, Cam heads for the car. But to her utter shock, Chat stumbles into the vehicle. He was wearing a bulletproof vest and only got wounded in the thigh. As she reaches for her shotgun, Ling silently hands her the white rose now slightly stained with blood. That simple gesture breaks her, making her feel the weight of her betrayal. She can't do it anymore. As they are about to drive off, the man with the iron hands appears, lifting their car with brute strength. Cam reacts fast and fires at him. As soon as he drops the car, they run him over and escape. Back at Cam's home, Chat is in critical condition, bleeding heavily, drifting in and out of consciousness. She panics, scrambling for medical supplies. He weakly asks her to remove the bullet to stop the bleeding. With no proper tools or anesthesia, he hands her a hammer and a screwdriver. With trembling hands, she begins to dig the bullet out. To distract him from the pain, he initiates a conversation. Chat notices a photo on the wall and asks who's in it. She tells him it's her parents. They died when she was young. She finally removes the bullet, pours gunpowder into the wound, and lights a match, just as Chat instructed. He cries out in pain, but luckily the bleeding stops and he feels better. Relieved, she hugs him tightly. But then, as he stares at the bloody bullet, something clicks. The bullet came from her gun. He then realizes she's the one who shot him. Feeling betrayed, Chat asks her connection to the man with the golden gun. But Cam simply says it's a matter of national security and she can't tell him anything. She quickly gives him a gun to shoot her. Chat hesitates, then picks up the weapon and fires deliberately to the side, shattering a stack of plates. He mutters to himself that he can't take a good shot even in short range. He calmly picks up his stuff to leave. Before leaving, he tells her to pretend they never met. Moments later, there's a knock at Cam's door. Her heart leaps, thinking it's Chat. She quickly opens the door and hugs him. She starts rambling that Commander Chan is the man with the golden gun, but then realizes too late that the person she's hugging isn't Chat. It's the strange woman who attacked Chat at the party, dressed like him. Just then, Golden Teeth crash through the window. They tell her she has to take them to Commander Chan's location. Meanwhile, Chat returns to mainland China, still convinced Cam betrayed him. He meets with Commander Chan, who puts on a show of sympathy and concern, pretending to be on Chat's side. He tells Chat that Cam is a traitor and enemy of the state. Then, Commander Chan hands him a document to sign. Chat, in his simple-mindedness, signs it without question or reading. Chan then suggests that he go to a hospital for proper treatment. Soon after, Chat is escorted by armed officers to the execution ground. He looks around, confused and alarmed. Then they cuff him and place a rope around him. He tries to resist and demands to know what's going on, but no one answers. After binding and placing him alongside other criminals, they read out his sentence, which states that he has confessed to betraying the nation and stealing the Tyrannosaurus skull. It dawns on him that he's just signed his death sentence. His face drops in horror as he watches prisoners executed mercilessly one by one until he's the last man standing. Meanwhile, Cam, alongside Golden Teeth and his female partner, arrive at Commander Chan's secret warehouse. Inside, Chan is preparing to move the skull to its buyer. The moment he sees Cam, he shoots her without hesitation. Fortunately, she's wearing a bulletproof vest. When she gets up, her expression changes. She's furious, not just at being shot, but at the realization that Commander Chan never cared about her. He used her from the very beginning. Now she sees him for what he truly is, a monster. With that, she switches sides, joining forces with Golden Teeth and his partner. Together, they turn against Commander Chan. They fight fiercely with Commander Chan and his men. Bullets and explosives were flying everywhere. Commander Chan quickly retreats into his secret chamber and puts on his indestructible armor. Cam picks up a gun and they go after him. Golden Teeth and his partner fight with their weapons, and although they put up a good fight against Commander Chan, his suit seems impenetrable. He overpowers them and kills them with his golden gun. When he returns to finish off Cam, who's already injured and down, Chat appears alongside Mansai. Commander Chan is shocked to see him alive. He delightfully narrates how he bribed the chief executioner with money and offered him and his deputies cigarettes. He tells Chan that his subordinates are corrupt, just like him. Mansai confronts Commander Chan and threatens to kill him using a strange new weapon he has just invented. He asks Chat to move far away so he won't get hurt. But to Chat's shock and Commander Chan's amusement, Mansai brings out objects coupled together. As he tries to explain how it works, Commander Chan shoots him. Immediately, Chat pulls out his butcher knife. Chan bursts out laughing, not taking him seriously. But Chat moves in closer. Commander Chan fires, but he blocks the bullet with the knife, shocking him. The knife isn't ordinary after all. He fires again, this time with a flaming bullet, but Chat emerges from the smoke, unharmed. Before Chan can reload, Chat moves fast. With one clean, swift strike, he decapitates Commander Chan, along with his golden gun. The man once dismissed as a fool and an ordinary butcher becomes the hero who recovered China's stolen treasure and exposed a traitor at the highest level. Mansai, though wounded, survived. In recognition of his loyalty and service, he's promoted to head commander. He finally gets the respect and recognition he's long deserved. The movie ends on a lighthearted note with Chat returning to his pork stall at the market, this time with Cam by his side. She's warmer now, finally matching his goofiness and lighthearted spirit. The pork stall may not be glamorous, but it's honest, and after everything they've been through, that's more than enough. Thanks so much for watching this recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a favorite movie you want recapped next? Drop it in the comments. I'm always checking your suggestions. See you in the next one.